Hello and welcome to crochet lesson number 1. In this lesson I will be teaching you just the basics such as putting your yarn onto your hook and chain stitch, single crochet, and double crochet. Now first of all you want to have some nice sturdy yarn. You don't want anything that will be too difficult to work with. None of that frilly poofy stuff that looks so much fun. It's difficult to work with if you're a beginner. So get some nice sturdy yarn. And here I'm using a G hook, but if this is your very first time you might want to use an H or an I hook. Okay, now to put your yarn onto your hook you want to take a tail about 3 to 4 inches long and you want to wrap a loop. Now taking the main yarn, not the tail because that'll mess it up, bring that through the loop and pull it tight. Now the reason that we use the main part is because we want it so that the main part will tighten it and the tail will loosen it. And this is just a good loop to start with because you can tighten it onto your hook and make it nice and secure so that your first loop is, your first chain is nice and even. Now you want it to be able to slide over this middle part, which is wider than the rest of the hook, and that should be loose enough to begin with. Now some people just hold their yarn like this or however they want. Some people hold their crochet hook like this, but I hold it like this. Just do whatever you're most comfortable with. And I hold my yarn in my hand by bringing it between my ring and pinky fingers, bringing it around, over, putting up my index finger to, I'm not sure what that's for, this is how my mom taught me, and then taking my middle finger and my thumb and clamping the yarn next to the hook like this. And what that does is when you open your pinky, then you can slide the yarn right through, and then when you close it, it's nice and tight. And so that way you can just control the tension and it's easier to work with so that your stitches are more even. Now for a chain stitch, you simply bring it around the crochet hook and bring it through. Bring it around and bring it through the loop. And we're going to do this about 20 times. Now don't worry about getting it perfect because this took me a while to master because I started when I was 5. But just try and make sure your chains are as even as you can get them before you move on to the next step, which is a single crochet. So this is 20 right here, and we're going to do one more chain because you can't put your hook right into the chain you just made because as you can see that just undoes it. So we're going to skip the one we just made and go into the next one with our hook. And then we're going to bring it around, through, and through both of the loops. I'm going to show this to you again. You put it into the chain, bring it around, through, and through 2. And that's how you do a single crochet. And try and do this all the way across, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, now here we have our row of single crochets. I need to move my lamp. There we go, now you should be able to see better. So here we have our row of single crochets. They should be nice and even. And for a double crochet, you chain 3. And this counts as the first double crochet because double crochets are pretty tall. You turn it around. You loop over, you stick it into the single, you skip the first one because you've already done 3 chains for the first single crochet, first double crochet. You insert it into the single crochet. Now the single crochet has 2 loops on top, as you can see. They're pretty obvious. So, and then you bring it through, and you should have 3 loops on your hook now. You bring it through 2, and then you bring it through 2. I'm going to show you one more time. You loop over, put it into the stitch, loop over again, bring it through 2, and then bring it through 2. And just keep practicing this until you have it down all the way across. Now, crocheting is easy to unravel. You just take your hook out and pull. So if you mess up, you can just undo it. It's very simple. So keep that up until you get to the end of the row. Okay, here we have our roll of double crochets made, and as you can see they're taller than single crochets. Don't worry, this curls a little bit, but don't worry about that. As you get further along, it'll straighten itself out. So I just want you to continue doing what you worked with. Do the next row as a single crochet, so you chain one, turn around, skip the last one, and then you just insert, bring through, and bring through two. And I want you to do that all the way across, and then at the end I want you to start doing double crochets on the next row, and just keep doing that until you think you have it down well enough to go on to the next lesson. Your stitches should be fairly even, and you should be comfortable with your yarn and hook by now. So I hope this was of help to you. Good luck, and I will see you next time.